Hello guys and welcome. We are together right now with Miguel, finally in Lake Como. Basically the plan was to come here 2 weeks ago with both of our families. Now that didn't happen, but Miguel already explained the storyline why did the plans change up a little bit. But now since Miguel just hit more than 6,000 members in his TPR community, I had this idea to ask a couple of questions for him to give you a little bit of the history, how the TPR started, and why has it built up to more than 6,000 members? Because that's a lot of people. If we compare it to a regular business, more than 6,000 employees or people in a team, that's a lot. So, Miguel, I would like to ask you the question, why did you create the TPR? With what people and what was the beginning? How many people were you together that created the TPR community?
So first of all, I have to say that 6,000 people is obviously not my accomplishment. It's our accomplishment. It's a team accomplishment. It's the TPR and IBA that today, just right now, we checked this morning. I was telling Daniel Zay we are at 9,800 or
No,
9,000.
5,970.
75, something like that. And I was just checking, and we hit over 6,025 to be exactly. Again, it's a team achievement through the IBA and TPR over the last 6 years now. And when it comes to your question, we started this back then, as I said, 6 years ago, with the intention. My intention was basically just to learn more about trading and investing, because I understood that I have no idea about money. I have no idea how to make money. I have no idea where to put my money. And obviously, I always wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to provide for my family, for the people that I love, and create this beautiful life that I live today, where I can travel with you guys and basically with you, with my family or with my girlfriend, wherever I want to live, wherever I want, and experience the most beautiful restaurants, the most beautiful experiences in general, destinations and so on, and have good people around me and provide for them and help them. But back then when we started, it was basically Martin and me that founded the TPR community. And the initial goal, again, was for us to educate ourselves, to make a little bit of money, and this completely exploded. We started in a very small shisha bar in Stockach, which is near the Lake of Constance. It's a very small town, it's more like, it's not really a town, it's like 17,000 people live there. Basically, there's nothing but one grocery or two grocery shops and a lot of shisha cafes. And that's where we started. Again, we were sitting there for hours, just learning about trading, learning about how to trade, how to invest. Obviously, it was not as developed as it was today. It was very complicated. We didn't figure it out as easily as today. And we basically paved the way for the new leaders nowadays and the success stories that happen very, very fast, because we figured out a system in learning trading, but also obviously building the marketing side where people become very successful very fast if they follow the system. And from the shisha bar, we took it to the next shisha bar, basically to the next little township. And from there, it started to spread in Germany, and then in Austria, and then in Switzerland, and then in Latvia, and then in Portugal, and then in Australia, and now in the UK, in the US. So it's basically spreading everywhere. When we transitioned from a former company to iGenius, which was about 3.5 years ago, nearly 4 years ago, so in December of this year, it will mark 4 years in iGenius, because we have been in another trading company before that we left out of different reasons, to be just more professional, to be with better partners, because we thought iGenius was going to be a better partner. And then the IBA team joined us, right? So in the back then in the company, TPR and IBA were the strongest teams. We locked arms together, launched iGenius 4 years ago, and today we mark 6,000 active members, and I'm obviously very, very proud. And I just want to shout out everyone in the TPR and IBA team how insane this actually is to have 6,000 active members in a continuous monthly auto-ship system. Means people pay monthly. It's not like they join and then they're active ever. They pay a monthly fee to be part of it, and the retention is just amazing. Retention basically is 66%, which means 66% of the people stay active. Our average lifetime is 6 months. If you compare it to the industry average, it's like about 20%, right? So we are 3 times higher than the average industry average, and that's in trading. The crazy thing is, like, how many people do you know that sign up in a gym and then they never go? This is a monthly subscription, right? And that's just a gym. You just have to go there and train. Now, how about trading and learning and the financial markets? And it's insane. So I'm obviously very, very proud and happy that this happened. Yeah.
What do you think was the key point when you realize that, okay, this is going to start for building into something bigger than I even imagined? Because I guess in the beginning, like 5-6 years ago, there wasn't this vision that this might become like 1,000 people thing. When did you realize that, okay, this actually is more serious than I was thinking?
I guess I started to realize that this could blow up and become very, very big when we started to have the first leaders that really take it serious for themselves, because we started this business and we took it that serious. I jumped out of high school, I jumped out of my law studies, right? I added extra 5 years of school to go study law, and I jumped out of my law studies 3 months after starting because I was so focused on this. I took it so serious, and obviously at the beginning, the first 2 or 3 years, it was basically me, Martin, and the leaders taking it serious. So basically Martin and me. Martin is my mentor. Shout outs to Martin. And then we started to see leaders that they caught up the vision. They understood, wow, this is amazing. You can build a dream life. At the same time, you can help people. You can travel the world, you can impact people, you can teach people, and you can become a better personality by learning all of this and teaching the people and being with people and experiencing the stuff that we experience, right? And I truly believe that even if I wanted to destroy it today, right? Like imagine like you have a business and imagine you really want to destroy your business. How easy would it be for most of the business owners to destroy their business, right? Let's take a grocery store. He just says, fuck up. He just fucks it up and says, fuck it, I'm not going to open the grocery store tomorrow, right? And then again, I'm not going to open it, and then the business goes down. But even if I wanted to destroy the business, I couldn't, because the vision lives in the leaders now. The vision lives in the customers. So we are at the point where the vision is not, you cannot destruct it anymore. And that was the point when I really understood this is going to be big, right? And we're doing it with the right morals, the right ethics, the right leadership. We are focusing on the people. We are not taking the quick checks. We are talking about long-term good income and results. And I guess most people would not decide for that. And that's why we outperformed them. And that's why we are the largest trading community by active members and size in Europe, and in 2025 in the world. That's the goal.
That's actually something that I noticed before, since I was traveling with the TPR community for the past year. The loyalty and love from the people when you see all of the teams together is just incredible. Especially at the big events when Miguel, let's say, stands on the stage, people just go absolutely crazy. And it's not just 10 people go crazy. It's hundreds of people start cheering and losing their mind when they see that Miguel is going to stand on the stage. And I guess that's one of the most beautiful things about the TPR community, that is the love and the loyalty, and that people are really into it 100%. Not only the leaders, not only the owners, but even people who just started, they believe in it and they see the vision and they understand that this is something very serious. Now, another interesting topic, since you talked before about cryptocurrencies and that, when was your first cryptocurrency investment, and what was it? When was your first time?
I mean, I started to invest. I saw this. I was when I was sick like a week ago. I was just lying in bed, and when I was getting better, I was so bored because I couldn't stand up, I couldn't do anything, and I went back through all of my iPhone pictures. Like my first iPhone, or not even my iPhone, was my Android phone, right? I still have all of the pictures, and I saw a picture in 2000, and either it was 16 or 17. When I, for the first time, bought Ethereum for 40 euros or something like that. And I still remember I did that while I was sitting in my computer science class, right? I was sitting in computer science class. The teacher was teaching us something about computers and Excel sheets, and I didn't give a fuck. I was interested in crypto and how this works, right? Obviously, they don't teach you about that nowadays. Maybe they teach about it, but back then they didn't. So that was my first investment. I think, like, as I said, 40 euros, 20 euros, something like that. Back then, I bought 0.3 Ethereum for 40 euros. I saw
Crazy.
0.4. It's like nearly a half of Ethereum for like 40 euros or something. Yeah. So that was my first crypto investment. Yeah, insane.
Incredible. That's actually one of the topics. Now, let's look back 5 or 6 years ago when Miguel bought his first cryptocurrency. Not a lot of people knew about it. And that's actually what the TPR community has developed into. That it's education on all of the financial methods. How can you make money in 2023 and in the next 10 years? And cryptocurrencies are also one of the main topics that TPR educates on. And I guess still not many people know about it. I see that I came back to my hometown and I was talking about these topics, and I was like asking guys, do you own any Bitcoin? And I was very surprised to know that not many people actually know about
I mean,
it.
the fact is, if you own one Bitcoin, one complete Bitcoin, you are part of 0.01% of the world's population,
Yeah.
right? So the it is still I mean, people say 2015, 16, 17, 18, they said, oh my God, like it is so new, right? And then the market grew a lot, and still today, like in 2023, it's still like it's still so small, bro. It's still so immensely small, and people don't understand it because people look at the Bitcoin chart and they say, oh my God, the Bitcoin is 30,000, 40,000, makes no sense to buy anymore. But let's talk about it again in 5 years and you're gonna be like, shit, bro, like Bitcoin is at 150, 500,000, I don't know, somewhere like next target is 120, 125, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna hit that in the next 1 to 2 years, maybe even sooner. But let's talk about 5 years, 10 years, it's gonna be insane. So it is still at the beginning, right? Most people don't understand it. Many people maybe heard about it, but they have not considered to invest because they don't understand how to do it. Yeah, we're just at the beginning, and it makes sense to understand this kind of stuff right now.
I guess this is the exact point which kicks in that information truly changes your situation, which is a Miguel's favorite quote. Yeah. Because if you know things before it has happened and you, let's say, invest into it, that's the perfect spot. And actually, if we look back, I also had some first crypto investments. XRP was one of them at 12 cents.
Crazy.
It's way far beyond.
You bought earlier than I bought. I bought the first time at 0.26.
Yeah, so I sold it at 0.3, and after that, I guess it went to $1, and then the SEC happened.
It went to 175, and then the SEC lawsuit happened. We went back to about 0.3, 0.25. And from there on, me personally, I've been investing a lot into XRP. Now my XRP holdings currently surpass more than $100,000 US. I've been just buying since the SEC lawsuit, and I've always been saying that the SEC lawsuit, Ripple is gonna win. 2 or 3 weeks ago it happened, right? I was in Cape Town, 100% on the 100% on the whole investment.
That is insane.
And yeah, corrected again 50%, and it's insane. As Dan said, information
changes
situation.
Yes. Yeah, so cryptocurrencies is just one of the topics actually that I could ask Miguel questions about, because in the TPR community they have developed systems and information chambers or directions that you get fully informed on everything that you could basically get informed. Another very important point I would like to ask you right now, because not many people actually follow it and not many people actually know about it, but we just saw today that Saudi Arabia, which is one of the wealthiest countries in the whole world, plan to join and have closer ties with Russia, China, Brazil, South Africa, and India. And now, what do you think that means? What should everyone learn from your standpoint on what is coming in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I've been heavily started to open my mouth during COVID. That was the first time I really started to heavily open my mouth and going against the state and deep state, the establishment, the agenda, and all the bullshit. That's also the reason why I left Dubai, right? I left Germany and moved to Dubai, I mean, because I was completely disappointed of the European Union and how they basically managed, and also in terms of the legislation, how legally they managed to solve the problem with COVID, changing the laws and stuff like that. And that scared me, right? Because if a country can just basically change I'm missing the word, the constitution, right, for this kind of stuff, I was, again, very disappointed. I thought it was a complete scam and bullshit, right? I opened my eyes a lot to the world, and I realized a lot of stuff. I realized that there's an agenda, there's a lot of lies, there's a lot of bullshit, and I understood that the future is in the East, right? The future is the Arabian countries, China, Russia, and that's why I positioned myself in Dubai, or the UAE, which is the new Switzerland, right? Switzerland is basically done in the future, right? The new Switzerland is the UAE. And when it comes to your question, obviously, I've been following the whole development with BRICS, okay, which is the alliance, as Dan just said, in between big nations. Saudi Arabia today announced that they want to join BRICS, and they just signed a contract with Ripple for their future currency and monetary transaction system, right? And I've been yelling this bullshit since 4 years into the internet. And obviously at the beginning, everyone thought I'm a complete idiot, but I'm teaching about that so much because the Western media doesn't cover it, right? They don't want to cover it, obviously, because it's to their detriment. I mean, the Western media doesn't talk about that. Everyone is ditching the US dollar. Everyone is leaving, right? They don't talk about this kind of stuff, but it's a true fact. And if you live in Europe, you should definitely consider where you want to position yourself in the future. And that's one thing that many people don't understand. They all think in TPR it's about, making money and trading and ego and speaking and making more money and making more money. No, it's like we are very educated on what is happening in the world. We are very educated on alliances. We are very educated on a new financial system. We are very educated on personal development, on spirituality, and positioning yourself, right? How to live like in the matrix, basically, right?
Yeah.
We don't teach people, and that's what many people get wrong. They think that we are a kind of revolutionary group that goes against the system. No, we don't go against the system. We are smarter than that. We learn how to manage the system and have the best life and position ourselves in the best way. And that's very important, right? Because once you make money, there's a lot of other stuff to unlock and figure out. Many people think once I make a lot of money, I'm good. Once I hit, Bitcoin and I buy it low and I make a lot of money, my life is done. But no, your life starts when you have a lot of money, right? Because I always thought, I don't know what you think about it, but I always thought that once I make a lot of money, my life is easy, and it's the direct opposite, right? Yeah, so basically that's it. The future is very interesting when it comes to BRICS, when it comes to them announcing the new currency, them announcing the new financial system, them announcing that they're probably going to be backed by gold, something that I also have been saying since a long time. Be focused on gold, be smart about it. It's so easy, bro. It's like, I don't know, bro. It's so easy to educate you on that, but people are just like, I don't know, they focus on porn and they focus on, I don't know what Kim Kardashian bought yesterday, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck.
It's actually, like you said, your dad had a quote, in a world of the blind, you only need one eye open to be...
Yeah, it was my uncle, yeah.
Your uncle?
Yeah, my uncle is the only one in my family that is a multimillionaire. Became very, very successful, took care of the whole Portuguese family since I'm half Portuguese. And when I visited him in 2017 in Cape Town, it was the first time I came to Cape Town. I went back to Africa where I was born. And he told me, imagine like a big ass penthouse. Like penthouse is 1 million. And next to the penthouse, he has another penthouse, which is also 1 million. And next to the penthouse of the penthouse, he has another penthouse, which is another $1 million, right? So he has 3 penthouses next to each other. And I'm sitting in his penthouse. Big ass table. You see the whole Table Mountain on one side. You see Cape Town on the other side. It's the Black Orange Hotel or something called in the middle of Cape Town. A beautiful building, and I'm sitting there, and I'm very curious, right? I'm very curious to understand why he became a millionaire and how he did it, because that's what I always wanted to do. And obviously he's the only one that I back then had access to, right? Because he was in my family. So I asked him, and he said, people take decisions every day. And then they reminisce that they took the decision in the future. They think about the past. But the only thing that changes is the information, right? So that's where the information comes, the motivation, our vision, like the most important sentence in the TPR in my life is what you just said. Information changes situation. So that's one thing that he taught me. The second thing he taught me and said is, look, Miguel, in a land or in a country, because he lives in South Africa, in a country where, in a country where everyone is blind, you need one eye open and you're a king, right? And I always remembered that because it's so true. Everyone is walking around with their eyes closed, focused on how to pay the bills, focused on COVID and getting vaccinated and Ukraine war, and focused on Kim Kardashian and TV, and focused on who is the newest superstar and Netflix, the newest Netflix series, and all this bullshit, and especially a lot of ego, right? Nowadays, people are so focused on ego. They focus on, how do I feel? How do I look? Do I want to be a female or male? Do I want to be a fucking fox or something else, right? That's what the state wants, right? They want to push your ego. They want you to be focused on yourself. The thing is, if I am focused on myself all the time, I distract myself too. I start to think negatively. I start to overthink stuff. But if you always stay in the creation, if you always stay in focusing on impacting stuff, you will never have a negative life. Like, it's like Andrew Tate says, like, I don't want to believe in depression. I just don't believe in it. And if you don't believe in it, then how can it happen, And even if it happens, then you rather not believe in it in terms of say, oh yes, I'm depressed, you proclaim, but you rather say, hey, maybe I have a condition, maybe I feel bad, maybe I'm a little bit focused on my ego, or maybe I'm focused on too much bullshit right now. Let's get out of it and focus on something that is important in life. So all of this comes together, right, at the end of the day. So the teachings of my uncle, the community nowadays, what is happening in the world, and it's all like a puzzle that makes sense. But, you know, just this information that I talked about is like hours and hours of content that I consumed and I researched. At the end of the day, it's not difficult to do it. It's not really difficult. You don't need to be smart to do it. You just need time. But that's what people don't have. Why? Because they are focused on
the wrong
to pay my bills, right? So that's how the whole system works at the end of the day. It's very easy.
Yeah. It's very interesting that not many people, what I noticed, throughout their 15 years of age or 20s, they don't open up to their own imagination and their own persuasion of how they see their own life, but they follow where everyone follows, or let's say goes studying and goes trying to get, like, let's say, a good position. But there's so many opportunities in this world currently with social media, with this and that. You can do so many things, and not always you have to open a physical business. If you can open, let's say, online stores, there's so many opportunities, and that's one of the beautiful things. What I also see in Miguel's work is that they created a community which teaches exactly about this, which you, let's say, you didn't get taught about before, but now you have a opportunity to have a source of information which gives you the information and the things which usually are not open to the public. But since there are more than 6,000 members, then obviously teamwork together, everyone finds out a small little piece of detail or small little piece of information, and then it comes together and creates a very beautiful and nice success community. What I can say, I think it's always good to learn from Miguel. For you guys who listened to this half podcast, half interview, or let's say just a part of the vlog.
just a part of our life, bro, basically.
Yeah.
Just like a part of our life, doing the interview, driving around, being here in Lake Como, dropping nuggets, recording, us having time, a fun time, you know, exploring Como, eating good food, jumping into the lake, and obviously working, right? Recording stuff, teaching people, and having this beautiful conversation with you. And again, bro, really appreciate your nice words about the TPR. And I'm very, very proud having you in the TPR, you know, because you are a very important figure, because what you do is you show people outside of the community what it is to be inside of the community, right? And that's very valuable. It's really important, because sometimes people are just like scared, you know, they don't want to join, they're scared. Maybe they think it's bullshit, maybe they think it's a scam, which is completely legit, right? There's so many scams out there. I can completely understand why people are scared and they don't want to join this kind of stuff. But then there's you with your work, and you just show people how it looks inside. You show the emotions, you show the events, you show the information. And yeah, I'm very happy for that, bro. Appreciate it.
Very happy also for our work, since the reason why we actually are recording everything is because we can watch back what did we do now in about 30, 40 years. And I guess that's one of the reasons also why I, let's say, record this, or let's say record with the camera.
Us sitting there with 65, 70, 100 grandchildren running around, big ass villa mansion, 20 Lambos, and we are just sitting there with a cigar, with a hat, on a comfortable chair, comfortable sofa, and we just put a fucking big screen up, and then we just watch all the bullshit that we did in the past. We just watch all the information, all the vlogs, all the fun times, all the events, all the crazy stuff that we did. Because one thing that I really understood is that we live so fast, we travel so much, that you cannot really, your mind is not open enough to receive everything. To receive everything. And if you would ask me what I did 3 weeks ago, I have no idea, bro. If you would like, we are both like that, right? We're doing so much stuff that we don't even know what we did. So whenever Dan drops a video and I'm like, I sit there and I watch it like at home, like 7-8 minutes, and I'm like, shit, we really did that. Right? Crazy. So I really love the idea about that. And obviously, if we can share value and you like to listen to it, and you change your life on the information that we are dropping on these vlogs and YouTube videos and stuff like that, cool. That's sick. I would love for this to happen, you know.
Was an amazing talk. Let's continue with
I have a Zoom call
with work. Yeah, there's more to do. So I guess see you guys in the next video. This is the ending of the Lake Como vlog and video. And since we are traveling next to Spain, then see you there.
Let's get it.